What is going on, everyone? This is Tom with another Toy Ramble, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the G.I.Joe classified series Professor Rottclaw and Cobra Deinonychus. I've been looking forward to this ever since they popped up at, I believe it was New York Toy Fair, where these first showed up. Him along with the Dire Tech Night Creeper. That looks really cool, and I can't wait until Walmart eventually cancels all of our pre-orders and then it shows up on the site on clearance. So I'm going to look forward to getting that. But for now, I got my hands on Professor Rottclaw and his Cobra Deinonychus. I love that that's his name, the Cobra Deinonychus. He's not actually like a snake or anything. He's just, that's his designation. That's kind of funny to me. I don't know why. I like that they are at the point where they can just start making up some wild-looking characters, because why wouldn't Cobra be making dinosaurs? I mean, why not? Why wouldn't they have some really neat looking armor? Because everyone loves dino riders. Let's do that. Let's get some of that going on. So here's a look at the back of the box with Professor Rottclaw doing his thing and some really cool artwork, which I really wish was still kind of on the front of the box, but they've changed things so that's not the case anymore. But I kind of wish that we got a little bit more of that. So we also have a QR code on the side of the box, and we don't know anything about this character because he's new. There is no bio on the back, unfortunately. I really kind of wish that there was, because it would be nice to know a little bit more about this guy. I get that they have the limitation of having to translate any text that they have on the box in multiple languages, so there's not a whole lot of real estate available for that. So they just left it off. So we actually don't know anything about him. I was hoping that the QR code would take you to the website where you could go and have a look and there'd be a bio with some specs and whatnot. But when I scan the QR code, I get this. And that is unfortunate. So I actually don't know where the QR code sends you. I don't know if there is any real information on Professor Rottclaw or not. But let's get him out of his plastic prison and take a look. No twisted ties for Rottclaw. And here they are, free of their plastic prisons. And let's take a quick look at Professor Rottclaw. And I have all kinds of questions because we have no information about him except for there he is. He's a professor. Now, is he a paleontologist? I'm presuming. I mean, he's teamed with a Deinonychus, so maybe? I'm not sure. Is he a geneticist? Look at Professor Rottclaw trying to rock the storm mohawk. Not quite, but give him points for trying. I really like the detailing on the face here. He's got these indigenous markings. I'm not sure if these are African tribal marks. I know that some tribes do have this kind of, with the dots underneath the eyes and the kind of the head decoration here. I just wanted to really go over how nice the detailing on these marks look, like the facial details and the stamps, the way that the eyes came out. I like his little mini cowl thing that also represents the little cowl that the Deinonychus has here. He's also got a little bit of a flair here with his feathering. That looks really cool, and it gives some design cohesion between the two characters. It would be nice to have a little more information on him, even if it was just basic. Where's he from? What is his actual title? It does say that he is the quote-unquote pack leader for the Deinonychus, so I don't know how many of these he has under his command, but he does look really cool. I like the design of his armor pieces here, the extra packs, because you don't know what might come in. I wonder if he's got snacks in here. He's got some dino snacks in case the Deinonychus start acting up. Can't quite tell. This almost looks like it's a hide of some kind, almost like not quite crocodile hide, but it looks some kind of reptilian studded armor hide. So I wonder if that is possibly a hint at what we might be getting down the line. Because once you introduce dinosaurs, you just blow the door wide open for all kinds of other fun stuff. I do not know if there is reuse on old Professor Rottclaw. I can't tell. I'm not super familiar with everyone and everyone's parts in the G.I.Joe Classifieds series, so can't quite tell on that. But he does look really good. I like the additional claw here. I'm presuming that this came from possibly another Deinonychus, or looks too long to be a saber-tooth fang, so not quite sure where this came from, but it is a nice addition. like he's a very unique looking character. I can't quite think of anyone else in the line who really resembles him. So this is a nice addition to the lineup. And I like that he is, technically the pack leader. So the Deinonychus, if they don't respect him, they at least respect that perhaps he is the keeper of the treats. So they don't want to kill him. They want to do what he says. He stands at about 6 inches or so, which is standard for the line. Let's take a look at his buddy, his Deinonychus buddy, who comes with a Cobra stamp, so you know whose property they are. He looks excellent. I was wondering when Hasbro lost the Jurassic Park license, or they parted ways, I was kind of wondering whether or not they were going to mess around with dinosaur anything anymore. And they very much did. They went the whole Bender route, and they're like, we're going to have our own dinosaurs, and they're going to be awesome. And this is a very, very awesome looking figure. Like, look at all the detailing on that. And I just messing around with it now and discovering how many movable parts there are on him. Like, just the head section, there's 3 different sections to the head to give it all kinds of great movement. That's really good. That's really cool. The sculpting on it is fantastic. It's got that creepy wide-eyed stare that you see right before it eats you. The color layout is really good. I like you get all this almost disturbing detailing, all the extra veiny detailing there by the gullet. Adding just a little bit of fur, so we're keeping it current with the design and with whatever the current trends on how dinosaurs may or may not have actually looked. And this is a nice middle ground, I think. He's kind of slight, so he leans more towards the actual way that Deinonychus look, not the more kind of beefy looking design that Jurassic Park has come up with. And they have packed this thing to the gills with articulation and really, really good paint apps. I look at the gradient there on the arms and the legs. This looks really good. The dew claw there looks really nice. The tail is bendy, so you get all that motion there. That is really cool. I like this a lot. I guess the only downside is you just get one, which means you got to double up or triple up or quadruple up on this guy. If he's, it does say that he's leader of the pack, so you're gonna need more than one Professor Rottclaw to really have a true pack of raptors. This is very impressive from Hasbro's part. It just kind of makes me hope that this is not the last time that they delve into dinosaurs. This looks really good, and I want to see more of it, like, immediately. Or color this guy in different, like, repaint the heck out of him. They've got to release, a multi-pack of Deinonychus that are just colored differently, and they've got enough interchangeable parts here where you could just make some minor tweaks or do some retooling. You've got some different looks. You can troll Mattel and just give him a little blue stripe just because. The Cobra stamp here amuses me because if you really wanted to play around with it, and I don't know whether it'd be worth their while, you could take a dinosaur, give it spots, but make those spots Cobra stamps, and I think that would be really funny, but not something that they would want to do. So these guys look really good together. This looks really nice. So let's first get into the accessories for Professor Rottclaw. He comes with his whip for some whippings. This is pretty bendy. Kind of holds its shape, but you can bend it around a little bit. And he just comes with a straight up gun. just to make sure you can get things done. Or maybe it's a flare. I wonder if maybe it's a flare gun. Not the woo kind, but the light in the sky kind. So he's got that just in case the whip is not enough to handle his Deinonychus. And he comes with an additional head. I really like this. So this, you got me. I may have to troop build this guy. He's currently available on Hasbro Pulse. You can get him off Amazon. You can get him, I believe Walmart also has him listed. So he is widely available. I have not seen him on store shelves yet, but when I do, if he goes on sale, I may have to get a couple extra ones because I really like the design of this helmet. It's got a little bit of a almost. See, that's a little weird. That I'm not a big fan of. Like, oh, if we didn't have that, I think I would like this more. That makes it look like he's puckering up. Come on in. Not the biggest fan of that, but overall, I like the design of this extra face. The visor's kind of cool with all the different lenses. Makes you wonder what kind of vision he has with this. But we don't have any additional information because there is no bio. So you'll have to use your imagination. But this looks really nice. I like the overall design of this extra head. Now, not to be left out of it, the Deinonychus also comes with some accessories. Like I said, because everyone loves Dino Riders, so it only makes sense that you would have some armor pieces that you could plop onto your Deinonychus. Oh, you know what? I said Jurassic Park Deinonychus before. Jurassic Park uses raptors, but I've always had an issue with that because the raptors are just Deinonychus. They just said raptors because the word sounds cooler. And again, I really love the Cobra, the Cobra stamp on the thigh there. That looks really good. I think the only thing that could have made this look a little bit better would be if maybe we got maybe like a green, a little bit of a green paint here to indicate that this is lit up. Yeah, there you go. So if he's at the park and Deinonychus is getting just a little rowdy, can rein him in. Get back here. What a great duo! I love this kind of weirdness that they're going for in the classified series because they've done so many. You've gotten so many characters already. I like that they've been confident enough to kind of dip their toe into more of the weird, so we get cool things like the Dire Tech characters and the Professor Rottclaw here. This looks really good. It's such a great duo. I need more of this. Give me more of this. I don't care. Repaint him, remold him. Give us all of him. Now let's get into Professor Rottclaw's articulation. So as is pretty standard with the classified series, he has a ball socket head for easy swapping, but also gives you a pretty decent range of tilt back and forth. The neck piece is 2 pieces, so you've got a little bit of head movement. The cowl strip in the back here is going to restrict your up and down and your back motion, so just be aware. Also, the wraparound armor for the torso limits it a little bit. Like he's got a lot of extra parts on him, so his articulation is not quite as wide-ranging as some of the other characters. Like your ninja's going to have more motion than this. So at the shoulder, you've got. He does have butterfly joints, but like I said, because of the wraparound armor, can only go so far. But you get your full all the way around hinge, so he can move his arm up. But again, because of the armor, you're going to hit some resistance. You've got double elbows that are pinless, and G.I.Joe classifieds do not brag about it, even though perhaps they should. And then you've got your... Oh, you know what? Professor Rottclaw does not come with extra hands, which is interesting. That's fine. I don't need extra hands. These are the perfect hands that he uses for holding stuff, for holding his vibro whip and all that fun stuff. So they are removable. So if you have other hands that you would rather he have, I guess you can swap these out for additional hands, but he does not come with extra ones. There is articulation in the wrist, though, so you can get a little bit of wrist motion, probably mostly for the whip. Also a full rotation swivel there. Also rotation at the bicep. Sorry, I missed that. It was hidden underneath this shoulder pad, which I do not believe is removable. I think these are glued on, so I'm sure you can pry them off with with some hair dryer and some persistence, but these are not just readily removable. He does have an ab crunch. But again, you're going to run into some resistance with all the armor he's got wrapped around him. He does have a twist at the waist. Get that full rotation there. And he's got drop down hips, as well as pretty decent range of... Well, he's got some motion. Again, I gotta keep repeating myself. With the armor that he's wearing, it does restrict some of the motion there, so you're not going to get the full range, but you get a pretty decent amount. He's got the double knees, So he's got a pretty good bend back there. And swivel at the upper thigh. He's got a cut there, as well as your ankle pivot. Now let's move on to your Deinonychus. The Cobra Deinonychus has a pretty impressive amount of articulation like that. I was very impressed to find, just taking him out of the package and messing around with him. So he's got a hinge at the jaw, right there. He's got a separate section at the top of the head here. So the upper mouth has a little bit of motion. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but mine can move around a little bit. But this separation leads to rotation at the top of the head here, right where the mouth hits the neck. So he's got some good side-to-side movement there. He can stare at you a little curious. And then you've got rotation at the neck. He's got his, and this doesn't count as articulation, but he's got a little extra cowl piece here at the base of the neck. He has some articulation at the shoulder. These are pegged on to a ball socket right there. So he does have up and down motion. You're not going to get too much side to side because it's pretty limited because of the ball socket and the way that it's pinned up against the body. The body overall is pretty slim, so you're not going to get a lot of side to side movement there. Same thing for the legs. I believe the legs are also pegged in on a ball socket, so you get some pretty decent forward and back motion, but side to side it's not too much. It's enough where you can give him a pretty decent triangular base that keeps him standing and sturdy, so that's pretty good. He also has rotating swivel at the elbow, and got a full wrist motion there. He has a single hinge at the knee. It's pegged in, so you also get some swiveling on that as well. And he's got the digigrade legs working for him, so you've got the simple hinge here for that second part of the leg, and a full hinge. Does he have a rocker? He does. He has a full hinge and rocker joint on his ankle as well as his foot. Plus, the larger attack claw also is on its own separate joint, so you can pose those individually from the rest of the foot. Not bad. As well as a ball socket for the tails. Also, there is a wire going through the tail, so the tail is bendy. What a neat little figure. I love this. I need more of these. They're so good and impressively expressive to be. He's a cold, unfeeling dinosaur, but you can get him into some pretty decent poses here. I like it a lot. So because it's been a while since we've seen Hasbro mess around with dinosaur anything, and the last thing I'd seen them do was a Beast Wars Dinobot from the Kingdom line. There we go. I wonder if Professor Rottclaw would want to hang out with Dinobot, or maybe not. Might be a little too strange for his taste. And of course, there he is with one of the Dire Tech Vipers. And this right here is why I love this line so much. They're so strange. It's so weird. I thoroughly enjoy it. Give me more of the strange and more of the weird sections of the G.I.Joe universe that, if you don't like these and you don't have to buy them, they don't affect your collection. If you just want to stick with just the mainline characters, then you don't need these on your shelf, and it does not affect your collection in the negative in any way, shape, or form. But I love this. And listen, I'm not gonna say that if we at some point got ourselves some kind of energy Viper or energy Deinonychus thing for Professor Rottclaw, I just think that a Deinonychus version of this would be super cool. If that was a thing that happened, I would certainly buy a whole bunch of them. And Professor Rottclaw next to Snake Eyes, your standard G.I.Joe 6-inch. And Professor Rottclaw with Lord of the Thundercats, plus his own trusty steed, So, at the end of the day, should you pick up the G.I. Joe classified Professor Rottclaw and Cobra Deinonychus? Absolutely. This is a great 2-pack. This is a really fun pair of figures. It's a really interesting, brand new character. I love that Hasbro is just firing on all cylinders with the classified series. I like that they've done so much good stuff and they've done so many characters at this point that they can start branching out and trying out some new things and making up some of their own characters that are just weird and wild but also fit within the whole G.I. Joe lore. It is perfectly acceptable to me that there is a crazy guy or some wild professor who is training raptors because they have a Deinonychus now. they have their own dinosaurs because why not? This figure looks really good. The detailing is fantastic. The armor looks really, really well done. And this Deinonychus figure is ridiculous. Ridiculous as in very, very good. All the detailing on it, the scale work, the paint job, the interpretation of it being a little bit modern, a little bit classic, came out really good. So I think that you will enjoy this 2-pack. Run out and pick him up. I haven't seen him on store shelves. I got mine off of Amazon. He's in stock there. I don't know if he's in stock on Pulse, but you can certainly go check there. Go check Walmart. Look around, see if you can find him. He is definitely worth being in your collection. I love the wild and weirder parts of the G.I. Joe universe, so I think that you will too. So, do you have Professor Rottclaw and his Cobra Deinonychus already? And if you do, let me know what you think about him. Leave a note in the comments. I hope that you have enjoyed this review. If you have, please give the video a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, because if you don't, they'll never tell you when there are reviews up. And who doesn't want that? So, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care everybody.